let's say now it's like the game, right? Let's say you're texting and we're good, right? You got the phone number. Do you, is there a
I think just go ahead and knock it out.
okay.
You already got the number. If you got the number, knock it out, and he's gonna knock it. And then let's say maybe one person follows the other, and then maybe the person didn't see it, and it's like, hey, oh, you know, I hit you with that follow. Like, find a clever way to kind of be like, I hit you with the follow, you're gonna hit me back. And then like if they're like, oh,
if they still not,
if they still not, then it's like, okay, like no hard feelings. I'm gonna keep it on the same page. I'm gonna follow you. Let's keep it fair.
I'm still unfollowed, but we cool.
Yeah, let's keep it fair. I mean, unless, but if honestly, it depends on your relationship. Like if you guys have like a playful banter going, there's no need. Like, you know what I mean? Like if you guys are still texting regularly, then like one person, then eventually they're gonna follow you back. Like it's just, unless you guys stop talking, then it's like, why am I still following you? We don't talk anymore, and you don't follow me back. So it's like, there's no point. Oh, I remember the other part of your question. You were talking about going through the dark, like,
oh
like,
yeah, the black hole of
the black hole of.
It's the tag photos.
I'm gonna give you some honest what guys do and why we do it. Okay.
All females are listening right now, so.
And don't take this personal. Don't take this personal. So for a man, right? We want to know, and this is what I mean by like we kind of see what you post and we have an idea of who you are based off of who you post or how you post. Because as much as girls don't want to be, you know, what do you call that? Judged by how they post. It's the same effect as if you go on a guy's Instagram and all he has is V-line showing all the time, shirtless all the time. Like if he has and it's like he's not even necessarily a bodybuilder or nothing. He's just, you know, openly half naked all the time. Yeah, at some point you're gonna be like, all right, like you're gonna put him in a category of, well, I think he's cute for this, but this is not the guy I want to be with, talk to. Like you're gonna start to, because there's a reason why he's posting like that. To be honest, like. Yeah. You the way you do things, the way you are bleeds through your actions. You know what I mean? So for a guy, we're looking like, okay, she got a couple half naked pictures here, naked pictures there. That's cool. We're not mad at that. Okay, we love that. If it's too many, at some point it is harder for a guy to be like, this is the girl I'm gonna date, because if this is the attention you're getting from so many people and how you're presenting it. It's like, yeah, you look good, you look sexy, but like, where's are there ever clothes? Like, do you ever just want to look nice in a dress? Like, because we like that too. We want to know, we take you out to dinner, what are you going to look like? So we're kind of looking for the scenarios, like, okay, like in this scenario, okay, if I took her out to dinner, she would wear something like that. And, if I took her out to a fancy party, she would wear something like that. Okay. Or blah, blah, blah. Like, this is her personality showing through her Instagram. We do look for that, and just like girls put guys in the category depending on how they see what they post and how they post, guys, we will do the same. And that's, I think, when you find that disconnect of a girl not understanding why a guy's taking them serious. Like, I'm not saying you can't show off your body. By all means, it's attractive. It really is. It's just like, but then what else are you also showing that's also a part of you? Because you can't be just your body. Like, if you are just your body and everybody sees that you're just your body, then a guy's only going to see you for just your body. And then the girl sometimes feels like, you know, why doesn't a guy feel or see me deeper or see more? And it's like, well, we only see what you put out. It's like when people want you to read their mind, you know, like, you're just supposed to know I'm upset. And even guys, if a guy's mad at a girl and ignoring her and a girl's like, yo, what's wrong? And he doesn't tell her what's wrong. She can't. So guys, we do look at the IG for sure, and we do be like, okay, all right, well, she's a little extra for my taste, but I'll still hang out with her. I'll still buy her a drink, you know. I'll still let her go somewhere physically, because that's that's all I see until I get to know you. Then if I get to know you, it's a surprise, you know. Okay, woo, like there's more to her. But that first impression, because and I'm hoping that by me saying this, you know, no girls are offended, because I hope I'm making sense as to why that is. Because I do feel like as a guy, our first impressions are very important. How we approach you that first time is everything. If we walk up to you like, damn girl, you sexy, blah, blah, you're going to be like, no.
Right.
Or if we're like, oh my, like, you have some pretty, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Right.
However we give out is how you're gonna accept us, and then from then on, there it is. Like you go from there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So yeah, guys. So we don't go that deep though, to be honest. Like we'll go a couple scrolls. We can't go make it to the bottom.
You're not gonna go to 2011 wedding you went to and see
Yeah,
your ex.
we ain't gonna look at the tag photos. We don't. That's too much. That's extra.
Oh, okay.
We don't look at tag photos.
I've always thought that what you're saying is exactly how guys operate. You know, because I mean, I'm a girl. I was just talking with some girlfriends last night. You know, it can get, because we're already crazy. I put it in air quotes just because girls are like typically like 4 steps ahead of guys. No offense.
Guys are crazy too.
You know, guys are crazy too. You guys hide it well. Okay, well, but you know, we'll go down that rabbit hole and we'll, you know, create this whole story, or like we need to know all about you. You know what I mean? But I think a healthy way to look at it is what you are. You know, you look at it because it's our public profile. You know, kind of see what they're about. Don't go too deep. You're gonna just. Also, something to be said about getting to know someone the old-fashioned way. Like, all right, cool. Here's a little bit, but tell me about yourself. Or like, what do you notice about them that they're not telling you? Or what do they like to do? Or I don't know. There's something, you know, sacred and precious about that as well. And I do want to bring up one thing, because as you were speaking, I went, this makes sense. So now with Instagram, you know, especially being out here in LA and whatnot, you have your public persona, and which can be very different than your private life. You know, and you know, let's say heels teachers, right? We're dancers. Heels teachers sometimes are out here a lot of booty or boobs or nipples showing or whatever, you know what I mean? And now, but that's kind of like, that's their job a little bit. You know what I mean? Like that's, if you want to work with an artist, you have to show what you can do. And then, so you twerk on it, you know, you bust it down all the time. But in reality, maybe you're like, oh, that's my character. But I'm not my character. My character is that, but I'm very kind of more reserved. And when I'm in a room, I don't really speak and X, Y, and Z. So that only adds more testimony to making sure you're continuing the conversation with them and not just judging them off of their socials, right? Because you go, oh, well, that's what they're getting paid to do, or that's like their job compared to like who they are. But you can take it back even further, and kind of an overarching philosophy that I believe in is you gotta sprinkle it in, right? It shouldn't all just be your dance booty. You need to have your personality in there, because people, you know, it is still like a public facing platform, and you want people to know who you are, not just your job, right? Or maybe it is your job. I don't know. I guess that's situational as well. But
so it gets deep.
You can peel it back or not in a lot of different ways, and I guess it's very individualized, and it's hard waters to navigate as you're getting to know someone and dating and whatnot.
I feel like it's very much the responsibility of both the person looking inside, like being on the inside looking out, and being on the outside looking in. So when you have a character that you personify, right, on social media, that it's not all of who you are, because at some point, even the character is a part of you. Like, that's why you do it so well. You know what I mean? Every actor pulls from a real emotion, the best actors, you know what I mean? If it's fake, you don't watch the movie like this person's a bad actor, because they have nothing real to pull from. So your character is real. If a girl is, you know, in heels, twerking, all that stuff, that is still what you want to do, and you know, and what you are to an extent, but it's not all of who you are. And I think so from the outside looking in, it does take a mature responsibility to know that, to be like, okay, I'm going to assume that there's more to her than just this, right? Like, because, you know, because I'm a mature person. But if I'm not a mature person, I also can't be blamed for judging off of what I see, because that is the first information we're getting. The only information I'm getting from you, if I don't know you personally, I can only judge you from what I see, unfortunately. And if I'm not mature enough to think deeper than that, it's my fault for not being mature. But then also, that is the persona that you're personifying. Like, it's like to listen to, I remember there's a reason why my parents would let me listen to cuss music and like rap and stuff, because of the bad words. I wasn't mature enough to understand what those words mean and understand that like there's more behind them just cussing and saying F you, F that, F her. Like to me, I'm thinking, oh, this is, you know, sounds cool and that's the persona. So that's what but when you get mature and you understand the reason behind these words, you look at the rapper and the artist differently. Like, oh, like this comes from maybe empowerment or abuse or your own personal traumas or whatever it is. So from a back to the girl standpoint, how a guy sees it, both sides have to take responsibility. If you've chosen for that to be your persona, because at some point you choose for yourself to be known as that. So with that being said, whatever comes with that, you can't be mad at the negative that comes with that. But also for the people who are throwing negative, they need to be mature enough to understand that that might not be all this person is.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
So it's a very much of both. Like no side is at fault for one or the other. It's more of just like as you grow, you start to realize that not everything is as it seems.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, some things are just judged for as they seem until you know more. It's like if someone tells you a story and it's two sides to a story, you only know the first side. So right now, your whole mind can only take in half until you learn the other half. So like you said, I think if the person is sprinkling in the other part of them, then it's a lot easier to be like, oh, wait a minute. But have you seen their stories though? Like this person's actually really goofy and like she's
right.
so different than what we see on this. And that's a good thing. I think some people forget to do that. Like for the person who never talks about their feelings, you know, like you can't, it's like what you see is what you get. Like if I never talk about my feelings, but I'm always smiling all the time, maybe I'm really hurt inside, but I never tell anybody. But I want people to sympathize with me. I want people to stop thinking I'm just a happy person. But no one will ever know that I have more hurt inside of me than my smile if I don't say anything or sprinkle it in that like, hey, I have my moments too. Or I really think like this too. Like, so you have to find a balance. But there's no fault. I don't think there's a fault anywhere.
You're right. No, I think you're totally spot on with that. There's no fault, right? Because as we just kind of went through all this, like depending on what you need to do for work or what you're thinking, and you can't, but also you shouldn't be judging and people shouldn't be judging you. It's a two-way reciprocal and stuff like that. Yeah. And the sprinkled, you don't got to go crazy, but also it's more relatable. You know, you're talking about being public personas and when as you grow your following and you become an inspirational to people relate with things that are humanistic. It's not always just about the performance or the character, but about, hey, I'm down today, or even like, here's this really cool product I believe in, and I think I can make an impact with this, or you know, stuff that's more relatable. That's what people relate to, i.e. someone that you're about to date, right? If they go through, oh, look at like a family photo or friend's wedding or stuff that's, not going to get as many views, but it's more like, oh, I would do that with my friend. You know what I mean? Like that's me and my friend being silly and goofy.
Yep. And it peaks, and then people are like, oh, now I see, I can register. Oh, so there's more to you than just this. Cool.
Yeah.
And that's what a guy looks for on a girl's page. And no different, I think a girl does the same, I think. What do girls look for? That's my question. This is my last question to you. Okay. What do girls look for when they go stalk a guy's page? Actually, wait, before you answer that question, wait, yeah. Because this is a good.
You saw my breath, I said.
Before you ask this question, this is good. I like to break these up. I don't want them going too long. So I'm literally going to cancel this one out, request, and then I'm going to re-ask the question, and we're going to get it fresh.
Fresh, cool.
Yes, fresh.
Take a laugh, 5-minute break.
This is, a little 20 second, 30 second.
Perfect.
All right, we'll be right back.